This election is hardly a four-horse race, but for the first time the leaders of the UK's biggest political parties got to face an audience ahead of the vote on December 12th. This was billed as the Brexit election, and the issue was front and centre of the debate. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn finally outlining his stance on the issue. Well, sort of.
I will adopt, as Prime Minister, if I am at the time, a neutral stance so that I can credibly carry out the results of that to bring our communities and country together rather than continuing an endless debate about the EU and Brexit.
Corbyn's lack of clarity didn't go down too well with the live audience. As for the Prime Minister, who faced the crowd last, he ended his night by once again pledging to leave the European Union.
People voted 3.5 years ago for their will to be respected. Every other party that you've had on tonight is basically trying to frustrate that outcome.
Liberal Democrat leader Jo Swinson was given the primetime spotlight she craved in recent weeks, but her performance failed to win over a hostile audience that pushed her on her previous voting record and their party's vow to stop Brexit altogether.
I don't think you can accuse us of not being upfront about wanting to stop Brexit. We have been crystal clear about that from the very beginning.
Perhaps the most composed performance of the night went to Nicola Sturgeon, the leader of the Scottish National Party. She spent most of her time defending her demands for Scottish independence, while disagreeing with the UK's plans to leave the EU. But if no party wins an outright majority, the SNP and the Lib Dems could prove potential kingmakers.
Let me be very honest, I could not, in good conscience, ever put Boris Johnson into number 10 Downing Street.
At the moment, Boris Johnson enjoys a healthy lead in the polls. But one thing this debate highlighted was a general lack of trust in politicians across the board.
Hello, Prime Minister. I'd just like to ask you, how important is it for someone in your position of power to always tell the truth?
I think it's absolutely vital.
There was no clear winner in this debate. No knockout punches landed. What it showed is that all the major parties in Westminster face an uphill task in winning over hearts and minds. The issue of Brexit has brought divisions across this country into sharp focus, and whatever the outcome of the election, it may do little to change that. Norwegia Barkill, CGTN, London.